So, today I want to talk about regret. And I think I wanted to make this video already for a while, but I kept on forgetting and I thought, what can I actually say about it? But then just recently, a friend of mine, she only just spitted out the sentence, "Oh, I regret that I lend them money," and then I remembered like many times when I did lend money to people, and there was few times like when I lent a big amount of money what I never got back, and then I started to think, have I regret that? And then from one point, and then I said to my friend, and I said, well, I don't regret it. That was my own, like that was my own fault. I should have known better to whom to lend the money and how to do that and things like that. So I just took the lesson and moved on. You know, what's the point of regret? I will not gonna get money back from that. So and then I started to think more and more about that. Often we can hear when people are saying like, oh, I regret wasting time on that person, and I regret lending money, or other way around, there are like people saying, oh, I regret I did this or that to them, like certain things what they have done to someone. And many times it can be like little small things, and sometimes it can be quite serious things, and people are non-stop talking about this regret. And then I thought there are two sides where we usually fall in with this regret part. And the biggest question really is, what is the point of regret? You can't change it, right? Well, let's put it this way. If you are in a group, when you have been the person to who is regretting, like for example, either spending time with someone or meeting someone, or like I said, lending things to someone, and then I can ask you a question, like if it's related to, for example, like how people are saying, oh, I regret that I met him ever in my life, I regret wasting time with that person so much and everything, and then I have a question, why do you regret it? Did you feel happy when you were with that person, spending so much time? I'm sure you were, until the moment when something went wrong. Everyone's saying, oh, I regret that. Why? There is no such thing as wasting time. For whichever reason you met that person so clearly, you were supposed to learn something regarding yourself, regarding your boundaries, your, I don't know, anything, like, or like sometimes even there is like regrets about baby mama or baby father. Why do you regret meeting someone when you have such a beautiful gift from them? You have a child from them. It doesn't matter who they are, but you have a child. That is the best gift you ever can have. I mean, like, I'm not saying like in a possessive way, but I think children in this case, they are our, like, they can give us so much. Imagine how many people are living and wanting children and they never get them. And they all their life they are like without any kids, and they are actually really suffering emotionally from that, and you are so ungrateful, sitting and regretting meeting your child's parent. For what reason? If you wouldn't meet them, you wouldn't have kids. Yeah, and then everyone's saying, yeah, apart from that, I regret meeting them. Hold on a second. You can't regret that. You even shouldn't talk about regretting that. And from other point, if you say that you regret that, you clearly haven't understood what you were supposed to learn from that person, from meeting that person. Are you better than you were before? Have you understood something more about yourself since you were with that person? If answer is yes, then why do you still regret it? You shouldn't. You should be grateful that you actually met them. You should. You should be grateful for that. Regret will not gonna change anything. There is no point of this feeling. And there is like another point. I think those who say, for example, I regret doing this and this to that and that person. Now there is like many questions. Did you harm them emotionally, physically, mentally, whichever way? If you did, or if you did any sort of damage, I'm not talking only about really like proper physical things. I mean like even the small like gossiping about them or spreading lies about them. That's doing like emotional harm to people as well. Do you regret, for example, things like that? And if you say, yes, I do regret it, then my question in this case would be, I'm pretty sure that's not even a regret, that's a guilt. If you regret it, have you done something to correct your mistake? If your answer is yes, I did, I went, apologized, I repaid them, or you did everything possible to get off the chest the way how you feel about it, then well done. And you shouldn't regret anything anymore. If you've done everything possible to correct your behavior or your mistake, it doesn't matter if they accepted it, because acceptance is a little different thing. It's already their business. As long as you have done everything how you feel you were supposed to do to correct the mistake. If you have done it, then you shouldn't feel guilty about it anymore, and you shouldn't even regret it. Regret, as I said before, will not gonna change anything. It gave you a lesson for the next time what not to do. And if you regret it so much, when it comes for the next time regarding someone else or the same person, think how you feel at the moment when you sit in your regret and guilt. And there is another case. If you haven't done anything to correct your mistake, then what's the point to sit in your guilt and regret? You just, no judgment, but if you haven't done even a slightest single smallest thing to change it, to improve it, like to correct your mistake, then what's the point to sit in a regret? To pity yourself, to make yourself, oh, I'm such a victim in this case, they will not gonna forgive me ever. Have you even tried? So regret and guilt, look at from other angles. Think why you regret it. Think what would change if you would try to change something. See, when we are just sitting down with our friends and in a joking way we are thinking, oh, what would happen if we would back then wouldn't, for example, meet them, or we wouldn't do this or that. Imagine how the life would be probably different. That's fine. This is fine way how to look at it. It's like we all always can live, not like live, but go through like these crazy what if situations, as long as it's like a fun thing. When you just don't sit and like, oh, if I wouldn't do this, then probably that wouldn't be that. There is no point. You can't change that. One thing, when you are joking about it and laughing about it, like in a fun, joking way, just because you have a fun night and you just want to be silly and everything else. Completely another when you dwell in this regret part for no reason. The reason is one: learn from it and let it go. Or if you can change something or correct something or improve something in whichever way, do that. If you can't, and you actually think that it's a regretful thing what you've done, but there is no possibility to correct it or change it or whatever else, learn from it and let it go. Regret will not gonna change anything. It will only feed a negativity in yourself. You will gonna eat yourself up alive for no reason, and it will not gonna do anything good anyways. So even if you say about someone, oh, I regret meeting them and everything else, don't. There is always something happening in your life for a certain reason. Look at the bigger picture and understand why did it happen. Stop dwelling in regret or guilt. So look at the bigger picture.